Hi, this is Mitch
You
Allen.
are listening to
In these days of
KLRN
uncertainty,
Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender. Spring will be here soon, so if buying a new home is on your to-do list, right now is the time to call Quicken Loans. Learn about which mortgage options make sense for you and get a jump on your competition. With our exclusive Rate Shield approval, the low rate you lock today is protected for up to 90 days while you shop for your new home. With a Rate Shield approval, if rates go up, your low rate stays locked. But if rates go down, you get that new, even lower rate. Either way, you win. Talk to us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com to take advantage. Here's another great reason to work with us. For a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Again, to lock in today's low mortgage interest rate and get the security of our exclusive Rate Shield approval, call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. License in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Hi, welcome to this Subway ad for the new Sesame Ginger Glazed Chicken Signature Wrap. How would you like it?
I'll take a...
Sports announcer at home?
Yeah, how'd you...
We just know.
My wife picks up the new Signature Wrap. It's got double the rotisserie-style chicken mix with a sesame ginger glaze. She appears annoyed at me, but she shrugs it off. Those sweet and savory flavors are calling her name. She lifts the wrap and she takes the bite! Incredible! And now she's closing the door on my... Subway, make it what you want.
Limited time only at participating restaurants. Double meat based on average 6-inch sub.
I'm little teapot, short and stout.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
No, Dad, like this. When I get all steamed up, then I shout, tip me over and pour me out.
This is WWE superstar Roman Reigns. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
It's the refreshingly non-political podcast about everything else.
I'm Alan Ray, and I do this for free.
For millions of years, mankind lived just like the animals. And something happened, which unleashed the power of our imagination. We learned to talk.
I'm drowning. You'll never talk to me. No, I can't breathe now. What are you thinking? We're going nowhere. What are you feeling? We're going nowhere. Why won't you talk to me? You'll never talk to me. What are you thinking?
Here's your host, Alan Ray, and he does this for free.
It doesn't have to be like this. All we need to do is make sure we keep talking.
Your Political Free Friday night continues. You just heard Jeff within the Crease. Great show on Skinwalkers. And now for the next hour, you get up to put up with me, Alan Ray. It is the refreshingly non-political podcast about everything else. And we have everything else going on right now. To kick off the show before we hit the bumper music, we had a pretty tragic thing going on in Boca Chica, Texas, where the prototype SpaceX heavy lift rocket Starship exploded on the ground this afternoon in a giant fireball during a test. No injuries were reported, probably a lot of work, a lot of effort, and a lot of things going on. And quite honestly, with the launch tomorrow with humans aboard, I hope this isn't an ominous sign to come. Stay tuned. Going to be right back. Anthony is here with me in the studio, and we got a lot to talk about. Don't go anywhere. Welcome. It is the refreshingly non-political podcast about everything else. AJ, how are you tonight?
I is doing good.
I have my, he's quickly becoming my co-host on this show, Anthony, who snuck through the door just a little while ago. And I said, hey, you gonna sit in? And he said, yep, gonna do it. Oh, so we got so much to talk about, and he's got things to talk about. We're going to have some fun. Right off the bat, if you don't live in this area, if you don't know what's been going on in Michigan, we have everything happening here, don't we?
Yeah.
We have fires, we have floods, we have pandemics, we have, can't get political on here. We're just going to stop right there. All kinds of things going on all at the same time.
Fire and brimstone raining from the sky.
Rivers and seas boiling.
Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling.
40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes. The dead rising from the grave.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria.
And that's just in my county. We're going to try to get through this with a semi-serious tone. At 12:22 a.m. Tuesday, May 19th in Edenville Township, Michigan, which is up. Okay. If you take your left or your right hand, you take your right hand, you put it out in front of your face. Okay. Don't smack yourself. And see where your thumb is. Midland is about an inch above your thumb. It's just kind of mid-state-ish. And, at 12:22 a.m. Tuesday, May 19th, Edenville Township residents were encouraged to evacuate due to an imminent dam failure. Now, residents along Sanford and Wixom Lakes were told to evacuate, and just before 6 p.m. Tuesday evening, the Edenville Dam failed. Now, I was listening to this. I have a scanner app on my phone, and we'll talk more about that later, but I was listening to a lot of this in real time. Additional evacuation orders followed. Poseyville Dam soon overflowed and broke. Sanford Dam soon overflowed, which is south of Edenville, which is where all the water is going to go. The Sanford Dam is just north and a little bit to the west of where we're talking about here. And it started overflowing. And then to make things even worse, a little while later, Smallwood Dam up towards Gladwin, which is north of Edenville, was compromised and began breaking up, and more water rushed down the river. So all of this water suddenly is just flowing straight toward these people just south of the Sanford Dam, and the Sanford Lake, Wixom Lakes, and all this stuff. And more residents were basically forced to just pick up and flee. Thank God there were no casualties. I have not heard of a single casualty at all. I was listening to this on the scanner, and the emergency medical people in that area did a spectacular job of getting people out of those areas. But as I speak right now, we have civil unrest rising up all over the nation. It started in Minneapolis. And like I said, we're not going to get into politics. It's a fact is a fact. Atlanta, we had one in Ann Arbor today that was actually very, very peaceful, which was kind of, but yeah, I don't know. That area tends to be fairly peaceful. Everybody gets along around that area.
Probably because everyone's high.
That's probably it. Ever since they legalized pot, we just don't have that violent of protests anymore. But we have all these things going on, and it just brought to mind once again, and I keep hammering this point home. I keep preaching it, and I'm going to do it until everybody has one. We are in, and I hate to use this phrase. Lord have mercy. I hate using this phrase. We are in uncertain times, and it's not because of the virus. We just live in uncertain times. Your world is not a certain thing. Things change all the time. Weather changes all the time. Everything changes all the time. My point, you are not 100% exempt from having to either pick up and evacuate or hunker down wherever you are. You need to be prepared. And that's why I'm glad you showed up tonight, AJ, because guess what we're probably going to talk about for just a little bit here?
I'm going to go with prep stuff.
Summer bug out bags.
Yeah, the summer.
And we learn. Yeah, exactly. Mike in the chat says it's 2020. Anything can happen. We've got murder hornets. We've got monkeys escaping from COVID test labs. Yeah, this is how it all ends, people. We're here. But it just got me thinking, getting ready for this show, sitting out on my back patio tonight, eating dinner and thinking, hey, I should probably do some prep for this show. That would be a bonus. And I started thinking to myself, it's time to update your bug out bag. So let's do that. Now, in retrospect, looking at all what's going on around here, I want to add a few things. Number one, we went over the whole, we got to kind of go over this, the threes, 3 minutes without oxygen, 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water,
and then 3 weeks without
3 weeks without food.
Unless you're me, and then you can probably go a full month, but that's beside the point.
Well, and I've updated that. I've updated my thinking. But summer bug out bags are different from winter bug out bags. And the last couple of days, we've had like 85-degree weather, and that's got me thinking, I guess I better drag my other bug out bag out and throw that in the truck.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, just given no emergency happens, we'll put it this way. This is what I want you, my dear listeners, to think about. Never go through any kind of crisis, never experience any kind of a crisis or observe any kind of a crisis without learning something. And what I started thinking about was, we've spoke on this show before about having a respirator or something like that in your bug out bag.
Yeah.
Okay. I've moved masks up on the list. They, unfortunately, because of where Anthony and I both work, we both have to wear masks, supposed to wear masks now all the time while we're in buildings and around people. We get paid to do it, so we do it. Do we like to do it? No. So we do it. They're paying us handsome money to do that. But they offer you masks, and they're absolutely disgusting. Do you guys have the blue masks in your department?
I think we're supposed to get like 2 masks.
Don't use them.
Yeah, no, the blue masks suck.
You
I have
might
my
as well
own mask.
Wear socks for 3 days and then put them over your face. That's the smell that's in those blue masks.
Exactly. Wait, the blue hard mask or the blue soft mask?
No, the soft masks. They're kind of semi hard soft. Not the real.
The ones that naturally fit over your face, or just the ones that you have to kind of bend over?
Yeah, the ones you have to bend over. Those things smell horrible. Don't use them.
Yeah, they suck.
So I of course, bought masks for probably 7-8 days worth of work, so I can keep them washed and everything like that. And when I get done with this whole insanity, I'm going to split them up between my bug out bags, because probably not a bad idea, just in case there's some kind of smoke or some kind of particle in the air to keep out.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, we'll throw masks in your bug out bag. rubber gloves. Now, here's the thing about rubber gloves. Right now, and a lot of people don't know this, I know this because my job is a buyer. I am an associate buyer. I buy things for a living, and I don't even spend my own money. How cool is that?
But there's some people out there really jealous of you.
That's right. Right now, there is a glut on rubber gloves. They are almost impossible to find. But the problem is nobody knows how to use them.
No.
So people are hoarding rubber gloves. They don't know how to use them. You should, in your bug out bag, have at least 4 to 6 pair of rubber gloves in your bug out bag. Disposable rubber gloves. Good for in case you come across somebody that needs first aid and you don't know what kind of diseases they may be carrying. Good if you have to touch something unsavory.
Like dead animal.
Yeah, like pulling
like
that 8-day-old dead deer off the side of the road. But yes, neoprene gloves. That's what you should be. Rubber, I say rubber, but they're neoprene. But yes, have those in your bug out bag. Neither one of these two take up a lot of room, and they don't weigh a lot.
No,
so there's no reason not to have them.
A box of 100 weighs maybe half a pound.
Not even a half a pound. Probably a quarter.
I can juggle them.
We throw them at each other all the time at work. So, but that just a couple of things to consider. Here's one other thing that I have just started thinking about. Well, when all this flood was going on, and especially today when the riots and all that stuff is going on, I have a scanner app in my phone.
I do too.
Yes. Scanner apps. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically
police scanners.
Yeah. What they do is they will give you, channel after channel. In fact, I've had this long enough where I was listening to the shooting in Las Vegas live while it was going on. I was listening to this on a scanner app. It sends you notifications if a lot of people are on one channel listening. That usually means something's going on. Mine has been blowing up all day. First it was Minneapolis, and then it was Atlanta. It's still, I probably have things on there right now. I just have shut it off for now. But scanner apps can be handy, especially if you can tune into the emergency services in your area. Now, not saying, this is only going to take you so far.
Yeah.
But scanner apps, you get them tuned into your area or the areas around you, the areas you're planning on going. You can hear things like where the police are, where riots are, if there's civil unrest, because civil unrest seems to be heading into June. June's
going to be the civil unrest month of 2020.
The civil unrest month of 2020. We've had murder hornets, we've had pandemics, we've had floods, and now we're going to have civil unrest. Bring it on. Bring it on. I'm okay. But just a quick summary of what we're doing here. Let's go just real quickly go over the bug out bags because we got a lot to go through today.
Yeah.
Make sure you have things. Okay, now I'm listening to, and this is where my head's coming at. I'm listening to what's going on in Midland. I'm listening to them. Okay, we have a strange, unique situation. We have evacuations during a pandemic when everybody's supposed to be social distancing.
And staying at home.
Yeah.
It's a paradox.
Exactly. Nobody knew what to do, really. But what got me thinking is make sure, and things, my mind just keeps playing on this and everything. Make sure you have a form of shelter. And by form of shelter, I mean, in my bag, I have I have 2 5x7 tarps.
Yeah, I have a makeshift one-person tent thing I can pop up.
And I'm thinking about buying one of those, but the 5x7 tarps are multi-use, and I'm pretty good at putting those together lately. Paracord and at least 3 aluminum tent stakes. You can make pretty good rudimentary shelters out of a couple of 5x7 tarps and stay dry in rain. Okay? You can also wrap them around you. You can also use them for blankets, whatever you got to do. Make sure you have stuff like a couple of those in your bug out bag or in the back of your car or someplace where you can grab them. Calories equal energy. Energy equals warmth.
Yep.
I used to, there's a lot of people that go, well, you don't really need food in your bug out bag. I tend to disagree.
I do too. I'm a big guy. I need some
That's right.
munchies
You'll be munching on tires and stuff.
Exactly.
Say, hey, what are you doing, Anthony? I'm hungry.
I'm that guy you'll see it during post-apocalypse eating roadkill on the side.
That's right. That's right. But have some calories. You don't have to have full course meals like crazy people like I do. But snacks, beef jerky lasts a year. Cliff Bars.
Trail mix.
Yeah, trail mix.
There's a reason why it's called trail mix, people.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, Cliff Bar trail mix is one of the best Cliff Bars ever. But Cliff Bars are very high in calorie. They taste good, and that's what matters. And they've got a lot of nutrition in them. Those are good to have. I have freeze-dried food, and I have an Esbit stove in mine.
Yay, the Esbit stoves.
Yeah, gotta love. In fact, I've got an Esbit stove in both of them, and in my big bug out bag, my winter one, I actually have cooking utensils. In my small one, I have just a good solid titanium cup that I could warm up water and pour into freeze-dried food or whatever and eat. Of course, we know what freeze-dried food is, right?
Yeah.
Mountain House. You gotta love Mountain House. We'll eat that stuff just because it tastes good. It's good practice to sit out back by the fire pit and just like heat water like a caveman and then pour it in a Mountain House bag, stir it up, leave it for, 5 minutes and then mow down. That's some good stuff. But anyways, but you also have to have a source of water, your life straw, your purification tabs, have that ready to rock and roll. Rain gear. Now,
yeah,
I've got in both, I have two sources of rain gear. In my big bug out bag, I have a rain gear, like a kit that's got pants and a jacket that all folds up into this little bitty thing. In my summer bug out bag, I actually have a rain poncho.
Yeah, I got a poncho too.
Yeah, because I don't really carry a 5x7 tarp in my summer bag. I use the poncho. The poncho can be used as a tent.
Yeah.
Because, that's the way I roll. It saves on weight. But yeah, your Esbit cook stove, aluminum cup or some kind of cake. Don't forget to get extra fuel tablets, the fuel burning tablets for your Esbit stove. And the reason I like Esbit stoves is because you can put the fuel tablets into them, fold them up, and it's like 2 inches by 4 inches.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and it's really good at boiling water. Now, of course, you see some of the critiques on there and some of the reviews. Oh, I couldn't get it to boil water. Well, that's because you're a lump. You don't know what you're doing. Practice.
Exactly. There's always that one guy that leaves a bad review on everything. He always has an issue with everything.
And this time of year, we're talking about summer bug out bags. Summer bug out bags.
Yeah.
Mosquito repellent.
Any insect repellent. Trust me, that stuff can get really bad really fast.
I got attacked by flying ants the other night.
Yeah, those were actually...
This is going to... To my listeners here, this is going to gross you out, but I'm walking Ava, my dog, which Ava's joined us in the studio too. She's laying right between Anthony and I.
She's not happy.
No, she's not happy. We're not paying attention to her, and she thinks she needs to be the center of attention. Anyways, I'm walking Ava down the dirt road. We're on the way back, and all of a sudden, I walk through a swarm of flying ants, and they just went all over me. I was hot, sweaty. They were all over my arms, all over my legs. They were all over my back, and they were crawling down my back and up into my hair.
Want to know something even more disgusting?
When I got home, I took a shower. I just took a shower, and then your mother took all of my clothes and just put them in the sanitizer part of the washer. And she's like, gross.
Yeah, you want to know the really disgusting thing though is the flying ants are the only ones that breed.
Yeah, I know.
So when they fly around like that, they're literally breeding.
Yeah.
So they were doing that.
So there were ant sex on my head. That's just gross, man. So bug repellent. Don't forget that. You can get the little cans of it, and that's good. And it doesn't really do much, to your weight and everything. They're pretty.
Speaking of bugs, get something for afters. There's a thing called after sting for if you ever come across flying, stinging insects.
In your first aid kit that you should have in your book. Yeah.
Yeah.
In your bug out bag. Yes. I have that stuff. Listen to Anthony.
I am a pest expert.
He is a pest expert.
Things.
This is what he's licensed in, folks.
And I have been stung multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
I even had one take the skin off my nose. That hurt.
Ouch. But you haven't come across murder hornets yet, right?
No.
Okay, just checking.
No murder hornets yet.
No murder hornets. But anyways, of course, knife, multi-tool, flashlight, spare batteries. Keep the batteries out of the flashlight. Put them in a plastic bag. Actually, I've gotten to the point where I've been putting them in a Faraday bag. Yep. And GR says Benadryl. That's great. I always have that in my first aid kit. You can get a really good camping first aid kit that stuffs into a bag and doesn't, it gives you all of these little options. You need just enough for 24 to 48 hours. I mean, these people after a day were all back to, someplace where they could go. But here's one of the biggest things you got to pack when you have to bug out quickly. Your head.
Yes. You need to stay calm.
Stay calm. Know your area. Here's the nerd in me. Nerd alert. I'm one of these people that'll go on Google Earth and scope out my area. Yep. For the ladies, tampons and sanitary napkins. For the guys too. I mean, you can use those for other things. Aggie's got a really good point. Man, you people you're all on it in the chat room. If you're not listening to this live and you're not in the chat, you're just not one of the cool people. Anyways, go on Google Earth. Take a look around where you work. Take a look around where you live. I am ultra crazy. I have taken looks around where all of my children live, and I have extraction plans for all of them.
I have my own extraction plan too.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll meet up.
Yeah.
But your brother and sister probably don't because they can't think that far ahead, but I can get them out of where they're at. I've got an extraction plan for my beautiful wife if something happens downtown, which, to tell you the truth, where everything was happening in Ann Arbor today was just a couple of blocks from where she usually works. She was off today.
Yeah.
But it's always good to have in the back of your mind 3-4 different ways to get out of your area where you work, get out of your area where you live on foot, on bike, whatever you got to do to pick up and leave. If you don't know your area, then learn it. Learn it. If you can't learn it, and here's a good thing to do anyways, I was thinking, can you even get laminated maps anymore?
I'm pretty sure you can.
Well, then I thought, how stupid am I? Just go on Google Earth to where you're at in your maps, and just screenshot it, print it off to your printer and laminate that. You can get those laminate sheets.
Laminated.
Yep. Duh. So anyways, know your area. That's part of packing up your head to get ready to go. Of course, remain calm. That's one of the biggest things. When you lose your head, that's when you lose your life. You have to take a deep breath. We've talked about this on this show time after time again. Become an asset, not a liability. When you're calm, when you're prepared, when you have your bug out bag, not just yours, but your loved ones, everything's ready to rock and roll. You become an asset, not a liability, because you're able to take care of yourself. Last but not least, talking about packing things into your head. Get in your head the will to live, the will to fight to live, the will to just never give up no matter how hopeless the situation looks. That's how people overcome odds that usually cannot be overcome.
Yep.
So now you've been preached to. It's summer. Break out your summer bug out bag. Mine is different. I stole it from AJ.
One of the ones I kind of disposed of when I got newer one.
I think you were actually going to give it to Hunt, but he left it here. So I was like, ooh, that's a lighter weight one, and you also got to think of that too. In the wintertime, you can heft around a little bit heavier stuff and, you're going to sweat a little bit, but In the summertime, do you really want to lug 25 pounds of crap around that you don't need? No. So get you a little bit lighter bug out bag. Pack it with lighter stuff. It's easier to survive in the summer for the most part. In the winter, just walking around in Michigan can kill you.
Yeah.
In the summertime, you can usually get away with 2 or 3 days of walking around aimlessly in the weather and usually not come to too much harm.
Yeah, unless things go crazy like it usually does, but
exactly. Can you believe we've already reached the bottom of the hour?
It is the bottom.
We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we are going to talk a few more things, including what's going on the planet and some of the stuff that's on AJ's mind. Don't go away. We'll be back in just a moment.
Listen now and don't forget, if you go for that solid jive, you can always keep the dream alive. Palin with Al.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
That's right. Don't forget to tell Al you love him. And we are back. It is a refreshingly non-political podcast about everything else. I'm Alan Ray. I do this for free. You knew that. You knew that already because most of you already listen. We have everything collapsing in and of itself. The entire planet is just, we have floods, we have fires, we have civil unrest, we have coronavirus monkeys escaping with COVID-19 samples after attacking lab assistants. We have it all. 2020 is like this nonstop party. Woo! Woo! Yeah.
That's one of those end of the world parties.
That's right. So, AJ, I'm assuming you didn't come to Gadsden Studios tonight just to listen to your old man bloviate for an hour.
No,
not really. You've grown up listening to that. So, what's on your mind, kid?
What is on my mind tonight is the ever so wonderful subgenre within the sci-fi and fantasy genres called lit RPGs or game lit.
Lit RPGs. To me, that sounds like something that you would, some kind of explosive you would light with a lighter. So you better watch out for them terrorists. They got some lit RPGs over there.
Stand in the middle of downtown Detroit saying that.
Yeah, don't say that too loud in Minneapolis right now.
Yeah. But no, this is a book genre. Very fun. It's most of the premise is based on video games.
Okay. Of course, with you.
Yeah. But this is one of those nice little genres you can get for kids who, family members that enjoy playing video games. Something that, get them into reading the book because it has a number of elements that have video game-like characteristics. And
are these games based on novels or what?
No. These are novels with game-like elements in them. They're books.
They're actual books, but they have game-like elements.
Yes.
Okay, go on.
Most of you know about one such book called Ready Player One.
That was the one they made the movie off of, right?
Yes.
How good's that movie, by the way?
I haven't really seen most of it. I've seen maybe the first few minutes, but
okay.
The ones I like to talk about are the one I'm currently reading, the Ascend Online series. This one is a short jump into the future, like 2030.
Okay.
And nanotechnology has been upgraded. So people live longer. Yay. The boomers are still working.
Okay, boomers.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But so this group of friends who've been playing video games since they were kids hear about a new game. And with most of these, it's a virtual reality game. So all the headsets and everything are actually become pods that you go into like a deep sleep in, and it'll put you mentally in the game where you can feel things, interact with people.
So it's okay. It's that kind of a game. But so what happens to your body? Is your body just in suspended animation, or do you die?
No, they hook you up with like IVs and stuff to keep your body going. Most
so it's
of
like the Matrix.
Yeah, with some, sort of. Some of them are. There's others that have the whole, you can only be in game for a certain number of hours before they wakes you up, boots you out, and you have to go to the bathroom and all that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
there's fail safes.
So how many of these lit RPGs are there?
There is a large number of them.
Okay.
Well into the thousands.
And they're more than just a game. They're actually something that you can get your kids into reading.
Yeah.
Just so you know, folks, I never had a problem getting Anthony into reading.
My problem is I read too much.
His problem was he read all the time. He would actually get in trouble in school, and the teachers would tell us all the time, we hate to yell at a kid for reading, but your son reads all the time. And he's not paying attention in school, but yet when we ask him a question, he knows the answer. It's like, well, yeah, because he reads all the time. Duh. Anyways, so compared to regular games, I'm assuming these can be violent, can be non-violent.
Yeah, most of them you're following your main character of the book through as they go through the game. So you're literally reading about someone playing a game.
You're reading about someone playing a game.
Yeah.
That's better than watching videos of somebody play a game. I still don't know where your generation gets watching somebody playing a video game.
I blame PewDiePie.
Yeah, I know. But
anyway. No, that whole thing started off with tutorials, trying to figure out certain things in games, and then it just kind of became its own monster.
And then there was what's his name? Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, the whole Leroy Jenkins.
Jenkins. I'm glad you showed me that video. And then just after you showed me that, somebody was talking about that, and it was cracking me up. They're like, "Oh, you know about this?" I was like, "Yeah, you gotta know." But anyways, JC's got a good point, Al. People watch golf. I learned not to judge. I watch golf. If it's raining and nasty on a Sunday afternoon, the best thing in the world to do is lay on the couch napping and watching golf because, it just kind of relaxes you.
Exactly.
Not to mention the fact that I always watch out for people making horrible shots because it makes me feel better.
Yeah. Nice to see the professionals screwing up. So
yeah, I've seen Tiger Woods make shots that I would even be embarrassed about. Say, whoa, dude. But
yeah,
that was really bad, even for someone like me. But anyway, so literature role-playing games.
Yes.
Now, I know games can get expensive. Is there sites where you can actually get lit RPGs, like subscribe to them or what?
It's not an actual game. You got to understand, it's a book based that has game-like elements written into it.
But no, that's what I'm saying. Is there ways that you can is there a site or something like that where you can, instead of having to buy each individual one, you could subscribe to it or what?
There might be out there. I'm not entirely sure. I found these by having Kindle, the Kindle Prime.
Okay.
And found a couple of ones that were for free. And read through those and then kind of got hooked into it.
Just got into the whole thing.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, something new for y'all to do while you're locked in from the Rona. Hopefully you're not. I know if you're listening to us from the great state of Michigan, you are locked in from the Rona. Except for people like us, because we are what? Essential employees.
Yay, the essential employees.
We're so essential.
Yeah. So essential to the point to where they'll give us a pat on the back, but not actually give us a raise or anything.
True. They'll probably cut our pay before long.
Exactly.
Anyway, so yeah, what else you got for that? Is that it?
Yeah, that's basically it. And, a nice little thing to get kids interested in books.
Lit
There's
RPGs.
a number of them out there.
Well, that's a great thing to do while you're watching, the end of the world go on around you. And, this is kind of an apocalyptic show. We've talked about floods. We've talked about civil unrest. We've talked about fires. Now we're going to really throw, if you don't have enough to lose sleep over, I want you to think about this. There's a mysterious weakening of the Earth's magnetic field. NASA allays some doomsday fears on you. And what is this coming from? This is coming from India TV News. Oh, goody. New data obtained by the European Space Agency satellites have revealed the existence of a mysterious anomaly weakening the Earth's magnetic field. Termed as South Atlantic Anomaly, it extends all the way from South America to Southwest Africa. But what exactly does this mean? Well, we don't know. It does kind of sound like doomsday theory. One of the doomsday hypotheses is about a geomagnetic flip that plays up on the fears of incoming solar activity. A lot of people think that every few millennia that the actual magnetics of the Earth flip, where the North Pole becomes a South Pole, the South Pole becomes a North Pole. And there's things going on with this weaker magnetic field. Now, so you don't know, we're not going to burn up. This article goes on to say a weaker magnetic field would just lead to a small increase in solar radiation on Earth, as well as some really beautiful displays of aurora at lower latitudes, but nothing deadly.
Yeah, I don't trust the whole Aurora thing, but that's getting into something else. We'll talk about that later.
It's Satan.
No.
But, the thing about it is what you have is this area stretching from Africa to South Africa. Basically, the Earth's magnetic field right there is gradually weakening. And the strange behavior has geophysicists puzzled, and it's causing technical disturbances in satellites orbiting the Earth. Scientists are using data from the European Space Agency's Swarm constellation to improve our understanding of this knowledge. And, it's probably CERN. I'm just going to throw that out there.
CERN.
Yeah, CERN, everything that's going on around you, these time shifts, all this stuff, the weird stuff, it's all because CERN turned on their giant collider and just...
Oh, Jesus.
He's banging his head on the door again. There you go, Artie. CERN. Yeah, if they wouldn't have turned that collider on, none of this would have happened. We would not have murder hornets. We would not have the floods in Midland. We would not have the civil unrest. We would not have coronavirus.
Not have Donald Trump as president?
Yes, probably. It's hard to tell. This is all CERN. We can blame it all on CERN.
Exactly. Just like we used to blame everything on global warming.
Right. Well, no, that's probably CERN too. So yeah, rest easy tonight, knowing that's probably the end of the world. Now, we do have good news. Now, if you've been listening to this show, why? If you've been listening to this show, thank you so much for listening. But for the past few weeks, I've been talking about solar minimums, solar maximums, and how we have basically gone into a solar slump where the sun's just out there not really doing a whole lot of anything. That ended. For the first time in 925 days, we now have an M-class solar flare. The way 2020 is going, we're probably going to have a coronal mass ejection and lose all the power, but we'll take the little
Carrington events.
Carrington events, yes. Put all of your electronics in Faraday bags and bury them in, steel garbage cans. You'll be all right. But it says after, what's this coming from? This is from Forbes. You got to love Forbes. Forbes has gotten into a lot of sci-fi, a lot of science stuff lately. They're kind of cool.
Yeah.
Forbes is cool again. Says after a very quiet period that had some wondering if the sun was entering a grand solar minimum, our star may have woken up. SpaceWeatherLive.com is reporting that a massive, though brief, M-class solar flare on the sun's surface was observed peaking at 7:24 UTC time today. Its first activity of its kind for a whopping 925 days. In other words, that big old ball of hot gas has been sitting out there for 925 days, not doing its job.
It's probably just a fart.
Yep.
The sun farted.
The sun farted at us today. It says, what is an M-class solar flare? It's a massive explosion on the surface of the sun, which happens when magnetic field lines get twisted and release energy. So a fart.
Yeah.
Sun fart. In terms of intensity, M-class flares are somewhere in the middle, stronger than a C-class flare, but nowhere near as powerful as an X-class flares. Pieces of flare. Flares are classified according to their brightness in the X-ray wavelength.
Yeah, I got a piece of flare for you.
Exactly. I got some flare for you. Why are they important? Because basically aside from causing a brief radio blackout, this M-class solar flare and B-class flares together may indicate that the sun is revving up after a total of 118 days in 2020 alone, when our sun has displayed 0 sunspots. So you really kind of need the sun doing sun things like flares, C and X flares, because I know just from the radio and doing what I do, that the actual flares and some of the stuff going on helps the radio signals and stuff. Without those, things get a little janky here on the planet Earth. They get a little messed up.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of good news out of all of the things. But like I said, knowing my luck, there's just probably going to be a coronal mass ejection tomorrow. We're going to wake up with no power.
Yay, fun.
Yeah. So, we're almost, this hour just goes by so fast. We're already like 8 minutes away. I want to leave you with this, and this will help you sleep tonight too. Arizona, the state of Arizona is suing Google over claims that it illegally tracked the location of Android users. This is from TheVerge.com. Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich has filed a lawsuit against Google over allegations the company illegally tracked Android user location without their consent, and even when the location tracking feature had been manually disabled, according to a report from the Washington Post. Now, I said manually disabled. You can disable your Google tracking stuff.
Yeah, it's called leave your phone at home.
It doesn't matter if you disconnect it. They can still track you. The suit argues Google kept location tracking running in the background for certain features like weather and for web searches using its search engine and Chrome browser, even after the user disabled app-specific location tracking. So what they do, and I've known about this for a while now, is they use third-person apps
to keep
tab tracking. Yeah. And I was going to talk about this on Hardcore Patriot last week. Never got around to it. This whole, what do they call this? The virus tracker thing.
The
thing, contact tracing. I don't know if I'm on board with that at all, because basically this whole contact tracing thing is going to open up the door for herds of people to be tracked by phone.
Yeah.
My best advice to you, if you want to maintain your privacy, number one, Anthony had the right thing.
Leave your phone at home. They can't track you if you don't have it on you.
That's right. And I've told you kids time and time again, and this is the kind of dad I am, and Orty in chat says, I am zero on board with it. You and me both, brother. I'm the kind of dad that tells my kids, if you ever screw up really, really bad and the police and FBI and everybody are after you, go to the nearest railroad track, take your phone, and when a train comes by, place it on one of the cars and wave bye-bye to it. They'll be tracking you all the way to St. Louis, Missouri, and you'll be heading to Canada.
Yeah, like that song, Old Red.
Exactly. But what you can do right now, and I'm going to throw this out here. I've been doing a little bit of studying, a little bit of research on it. In fact, I've actually got some, and I might have to give this guy a call, see if I can get him on the show. He has a product called Silent Pocket. I don't have his product, but I have one similar. Basically, it's a Faraday bag for your phone. Now, you can do the same effect with 2 good layers of aluminum foil, but that would be crunchy in your pocket and quite uncomfortable. And
people will kind of look at you weird.
That's right. This just looks like a phone pocket. Now, that being said, you have to continually test this about every week to make sure that it's not allowing things in or out. And even when you have it in the bag, you can still be tracked. The best advice, there's radio frequencies. You have to understand radio frequencies are pretty rough to kill. You have to put it on, I recommend either turning your phone off and putting it in the Faraday bag or turning it on airplane mode and putting it on there. Even with airplane mode, some radio frequencies still may get out. So the best thing to do is buy one of these Faraday bags. You got some that look really cool, fancy looking, and put in, and I've got one. And they work pretty slick. I can put my phone in this thing and the Bluetooth shuts off, which is what the contact tracing app, what I understand works on, is a lot of Bluetooth. The Bluetooth just goes away when you put that in.
Yeah, it's all fun with
that. You don't get calls in. You don't get, it's harder to track.
Yeah.
That's just it. So the best thing to do if you want to keep your phone on, you don't want to turn it on and off, put it on airplane mode, put it in the Faraday bag, and, either leave your phone at home, or that will at least keep things,
Yeah, make it harder for them to find out where you are.
Right. It's going to be a lot harder for them to track. If you enjoy your privacy, which I do, get one of these bags. I gave one to your mother. And at first she looked at it kind of weird, but then all this contact tracing stuff started coming out and she goes, oh. I seen her playing around with that the other day, and I think she's starting to use it.
Funny how this all started with me poking you about something.
Right. Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, and it's funny because you still got a couple of giant Faraday bags up in your old room.
Yeah, those are for like laptops and things like that.
Yep. So, but just remember, if you don't want to be tracked, you can turn this stuff off. They can still turn it back on. I mean, if they're doing this, what else are they doing? That's what you got to ask yourself.
Exactly. Remember, Google knows what you're thinking.
That's right.
You could think about eggs and suddenly, hey, we know you like eggs.
Google is the devil, but they have the cool toys.
It's the dark side. We have all the cool toys.
That's right.
And cookies.
I'm Alan Ray. This is my son, Anthony.
Yo.
And Anthony, where can they find you on Twitter?
I am the Exterminator Fat Boy.
Son of Two Cynic Gal is your thing. Yep. I am Two Cynic Gal 65 on Twitter. Look us up. I'll be back next week with Hardcore Patriot. I'll be here in 2 weeks. Stay tuned. Coming up, Juxtaposition. Don't go anywhere. We will see you in a couple of weeks. We'll talk again soon. God bless you. God bless the USA.
Peace.
Peace.
Have to be like this. All we need to do is make sure we keep talking.